Mentioning the presence of the barrel right here was a British captain, of a whaling fleet, James Cornett. And that goes back to 1793. 1793. He ended up mentioning the barrel and asking the captains of the same fleet, that they were already around here, ready to go back home, as they were stopping by to be collecting water from the mountain because there is a little spring, to pass by to collect the letters that have been posted right here in the barrel and hand deliver it. Remember, whalers in those years, they used to be away from home for 3-5 years. So this is the beginning, 1793. 1812, this place became more famous. You know what was going on? The Atlantic War between USA and England. And by the time that the news came all the way to the Pacific, we have had one of the American captains around the Galapagos water, and he was trying to capture British vessels. It did not matter if there were, whalers or buccaneers, or as far as they were from England, he was very happy. But the tradition said that for every captured boat, you have to put one of your trust for crew as a new lieutenant. So he ended up running out of trust for crew members. And the last person that he had on board with him, very trustful, was his adopted son, original from Cuba, 12 years old.
Turn around.
And he was the one that everybody say is the youngest captain in the history of the USA Navy. And the interesting part of this is that this little boy, original from Cuba, went back home later on and continued his career, in the USA Navy, and he became the first dark color vice admiral. The first one. What was his name? David Glasgow Farragut. Because there are some academy school in the States that are named after that little boy that was sailing here in the Galapagos at the age of 12 years old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver this to several of you. Please shout the addresses. And if somebody heard that one of the posters on letter goes to the same city where you live back at home, please raise your hand, take that postcard. Once again, it doesn't work if you pass by the airport and you add a stamp and you drop it in the mailbox. It doesn't. You have to go home, and then after a day, 2 days, or a week later, drive to that place where the address is and hand deliver it. We suggest that the time when you should do this is lunch or dinner, so you can get invited and maybe get a meal too, so which is okay.
That's not gonna happen.
And you know what? It's very embarrassing for me to admit that this mailing system works sometimes better and faster than the regular post office.
Oh my gosh.
So bad. It does. Let me give you some. Let me give you some. Let me give you some around here. Uh-oh. There are more. There's more. I'm bringing more.
Start calling them out. I got a Vancouver, Washington.
It's Seattle, Washington.
You guys?
Oh dear. Close.
And at the end, you can be posted yours.
Then we got Italy.
I can make a trip in Italy.
Chicago.
Italy's.
So Steve and Elaine are close.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half though. That's not close enough.
To Denmark, I don't think
Which
so.
one? States that?
Massachusetts.
Now the addresses.
Loganville, Georgia.
Costa Rica,
We got
To Pune,
Louisiana.
Switzerland, I don't think so.
Here's Ecuador.
Did somebody say Pennsylvania?
New York, Ale.
well, it depends where, because New York's a big state.
32nd East and 64th.
Ohio, Utah.
Close.
That's close to me.
Yay!
Come on, guys, find one.
Got 2 Australias.
You're not going there. St. Pete, Florida.
Richmond, California.
Oh,
Parents, we better get that.
Menlo Park.
look at it. What's the address on it?
This is dumb. Like, they actually didn't put the address.
59th
This is for
Avenue
my
South.
dog, and then it doesn't
We'll
say
have
the
to take
address.
that.
I'm like, well,
Is that close?
Yeah.
oh, that's funny.
London.
Okay, we've got one.
You got a London.
All right, we got one. That's awesome.
South Carolina.
Now to take it
Put it in an envelope here.
Dallas.
ourselves back to St. Pete, Florida.
Spain.